Coming up on WSHM, CBS 3 Springfield News at 6. Massachusetts continues to crack down on the growing opioid addiction crisis plaguing the state. Now the help that could soon be coming to one local community. And Springfield officials have announced the expansion of the police and fire forces due to money from MGM Springfield. But now the Las Vegas-based casino company says they're going into debt. That's all new tonight after Dr. Oz on CBS 3 Springfield News at 6. Coming up on WSHM, CBS 3 Springfield News at 6, the issue of illegal immigration has taken the national stage. Now new research suggests that Massachusetts is among 14 states to see a decline in the number of immigrants living illegally here. How much that number has fallen. And mental health advocates are calling on Governor-elect Charlie Baker to address the issue of mental health treatment as soon as he enters office. What they're looking for him to do. That's all new tonight after Dr. Oz on CBS 3 Springfield News at 6. Coming up on WSHM, CBS 3 Springfield News at 6. A former West Springfield man is sentenced after pleading guilty to filing false tornado damage claims with the federal government following the 2011 tornado. How much time he'll serve and how much money he's ordered to repay. And as MGM Springfield continues to move forward with the building of a casino, Connecticut's casino released new revenue numbers, what that could reveal about future casinos in the Baystate. That's all new tonight after Dr. Oz on CBS 3 Springfield News at 6. Next, in the first 5 minutes, Springfield police are investigating a double stabbing that has left one person dead. And on this Veterans Day, we take a look at how local communities honor those who serve their country. Details tonight at 6. At 6, a wanted prison escapee featured on CBS 3 Springfield's Most Wanted last night is now in custody. How CBS 3 played a role in catching him. And a Holyoke police officer fired after allegedly threatening a fellow officer with a gun. Still to come on CBS 3 Springfield News at 11, as the civil war in Syria rages on, Syrian rebels say the Assad regime is getting help from a very surprising source. And a U.S. Marine jailed in Mexico for months finally receives good news about his freedom. Coming up on CBS 3 Springfield News at 11, after 10 long years, scientists successfully land a probe on the surface of a comet, but it may not have all gone according to plan. Plus, a paraplegic veteran gives his new bride a very special surprise on their wedding day. Coming up on CBS 3 Springfield News at 11, the fallout continues in the Bill Cosby sexual assault scandal as a network cancels a series that was in development with the comedian. Plus,
students and teachers in suburban St. Louis are getting ready in case a grand jury hands up a decision in the Michael Brown shooting. I'm Omar Villafranca near Ferguson, Missouri, with that story coming up.
The greatest racial disparity in the city of Milwaukee is getting shot and killed. Hello.
Emotional words from former Springfield Police Chief Edward Flynn have gone viral. Flynn was confronted by the Milwaukee press after he took a phone call during a meeting this week. Now, that call turned out to be concerning a 5-year-old girl who had just been killed in a drive-by shooting and sparked intense comments from the chief. Flynn now serves as the chief of police in Milwaukee, where protests have taken place in recent weeks after an officer-involved shooting earlier this year. Dontre Hamilton, who was mentally ill, was shot and killed by Milwaukee police officer Christopher Manny. Family of the slain man say they're still looking for answers in his death.
We don't get no calls saying, hey, we're sorry for how long it's taken. No calls from the district attorney's office.
Now, Chief Flynn fired Officer Manny, but so far no charges have been brought against him. Flynn served as Springfield Police Chief from 2006 to 2007 and left for Milwaukee in the middle of a 5-year contract. With today's top stories and tomorrow's full forecast in the first 5 minutes. Good evening, I'm Charisse LeClaire. It is a momentous day for the Catholic Church in Western Massachusetts. The Roman Catholic Diocese of Springfield officially has a new bishop.
A dangerous threat made to Agawam High School last week. Parents not finding out until this weekend. I'm Julie Leonardi. Coming up, find out what the school administration has to say about the late notice.
Good news at the pumps. The price of fuel keeps dropping, but is that changing the way people are driving? I'm Bill Rapp. We'll have that story coming up next.
And what led Chicopee police to a wanted suspect in an armed robbery? With today's top stories and tomorrow's full forecast in the first 5 minutes. Good evening. I'm Charisse LeClaire. Milder weather is expected over the next couple of days, but changes are coming as colder temperatures are set to move in, giving you a preview of what we can expect this winter. Meteorologist Nick Morganelli is tracking the changes in our Pinpoint Weather Center. Nick, how low will those temperatures actually be going?
I'll tell you, Charisse, we're going to have temperatures in the 30s during the afternoon highs. We'll show you that when that will happen in just a minute.
MGM Springfield is one step closer to building a casino in the city's south end. Representatives for the company confirmed to CBS 3 that MGM has paid the $85 million licensing fee to the State Gaming Commission. MGM Resorts International was formally awarded that license on November 6th, just days after a ballot repeal measure was voted down by the Massachusetts residents. MGM Springfield spokesperson Carol Brennan says this is a significant step in the project's development, saying in part, "We are delighted to make this strong commitment to the Commonwealth and to move forward with Springfield's comeback story," end quote. Now, some work has already begun in the construction process, with soil samples taken the day after the election. MGM expects to break ground in the spring of 2015 and open in 2017. Also in the first 5 minutes tonight, Connecticut's casinos are reporting a decline in slot machine betting and revenue for October. Mohegan Sun announced today that total slot machine bets last month totaled nearly $582 billion. That's down from $592 million in October last year. Foxwoods Resort Casino is reporting that slot bets for them totaled slightly over $477 million, down from the nearly $481 million last year. Betting and revenue have fallen steadily for Connecticut casinos due to increasing competition and a continuing weakness in consumer demand. Mohegan had recently suggested an alliance with Foxwoods to build a third casino in Connecticut right near the Massachusetts border to compete with casinos opening here, including MGM Springfield. Nick, thank you. Well, a stolen vehicle was pulled from the Chicopee River in Wilbraham tonight. Wilbraham Police Sergeant Mark Paradise tells CBS 3 a witness saw that gray minivan drive straight into the water on River Road around 7 tonight. Ludlow Police and the Massachusetts State Police Air Wing assisted in the search. Police say there was no one inside that van, but believe a heavy object was placed on the gas pedal to make it drive into the river. The scene cleared a little after 8:30 tonight. The van was reported stolen from Community Transportation Services on Verge Street in Springfield. Nick, thank you. Well, Springfield police are investigating an armed robbery at a convenience store that happened earlier tonight. According to police, officers responded to a report of an armed robbery at downtown convenience on Worthington Street around 8:30. Police tell CBS 3 that detectives are still investigating. Now, that store has been robbed at gunpoint before, back in February 2013. New tonight at 11, a lawsuit involving the city of Springfield. Mayor Dominic Sarno, the New England Farm Workers Council, and other downtown business owners has officially been served. The former owner of the downtown Paramount Theater, Stephen Stein, tells CBS 3 he sued those parties for racketeering, saying the way the historic theater was purchased in 2011 was through fraudulent means. Stein claims that the city and business owners who purchased the Paramount were engaged in illegal acts and racketeering activity to force the plaintiffs to sell that theater at below market rate so it could be used for casino property for the failed Penn National Gaming bid in the North End. The lawsuit seeks damages for breach of contract and other charges. CBS 3 has reached out to the city solicitor's office for comment. We are still waiting for a response from them. Coming up on WSHM, CBS 3 Springfield News at 6. An alleged heroin dealer arrested twice in the span of 2 weeks by Springfield police appears before a judge to learn his sentence. And CBS 3 Springfield's Most Wanted series is back for another installment. Police are asking the public for help in tracking down this man who they say committed a violent crime following his release from jail on prior charges. Details tonight after Dr. Oz on CBS 3 Springfield News at 6. Next, in the first 5 minutes, scams are becoming much more sophisticated and they're on the rise. Local police explain what they're doing to combat them. And a Springfield woman accused of severely beating her children appears before a judge. The details tonight at 6. Still to come on CBS 3 Springfield News at 11, Mexican authorities are hoping that a recent arrest could be a break in solving the disappearance of nearly 4 dozen college students. And the Spanish nurse infected with the Ebola virus finally returns home after spending weeks in the hospital. Coming up on CBS 3 Springfield News at 11, following an airbag explosion in North Carolina, federal authorities are now pushing for a nationwide recall. And a federal judge issues his ruling on the request to dismiss charges against Texas Governor Rick Perry. Coming up on WSHM, CBS 3 Springfield News at 6. CBS 3's Springfield's Most Wanted is back for another installment. Police are asking the public for help in tracking down this man after he skipped a court appearance, the crime he's accused of committing. Plus, what Bishop Rosansky has to say about the possible rebuilding of Cathedral High School and when that could take place. That's all new tonight after Dr. Oz on CBS 3 Springfield News at 6. Next, in the first 5 minutes, an all clear is given at Amherst High School as several other schools receive similar calls at the same time. And the possible moves being made by casino competitors in Connecticut to compete with MGM Springfield. Well, we begin your first 5 minutes tonight with breaking news out of Springfield, where Baystate medical officials tell CBS 3 they are testing patients for the enterovirus at that hospital. CBS 3's Tim Callery is live outside Baystate Medical Center with the very latest. Tim.
Well, Sharice, Baystate officials telling CBS 3 that 7 pediatric patients have been admitted for respiratory illnesses. However, they cannot confirm if all 7 are being tested for the enterovirus. Now, Ben Kraft, spokesperson for the hospital, tells CBS 3 that these 7 patients have been admitted to the hospital with cases of respiratory illnesses, and that tests are now being conducted on some of those patients to find out if it could be the enterovirus. Now, the illness has been afflicting children mostly in the Midwest, but just today a case was confirmed in a child in Connecticut. Now, parents speaking exclusively with CBS 3 Springfield say their child is at Baystate tonight with respiratory illness symptoms and is being examined for the enterovirus. Now, they've been told that other children in Baystate are being tested for that virus as well. Now, Baystate medical professionals tell CBS 3 that while the enterovirus has made headlines recently, they say that it is often manageable and not severe. And according to the CDC, 16 states have already confirmed cases of enterovirus, but again, there has yet to be a case confirmed here in Springfield. Baystate officials just telling CBS 3 that 7 pediatric patients have been admitted to the hospital with respiratory illnesses and that some of them are now being tested to see if they do in fact have that enterovirus. Of course, we'll continue to follow this story and bring you any updates as soon as they become available. But for now, we're live here outside Baystate Medical Center. I'm Tim Callery, CBS 3 Springfield.
Today, regardless of nationality, we are all united in grief.
Malaysia's Prime Minister vows to get answers after a jetliner is shot down. And turning to the developing news out of eastern Ukraine, where investigators are just now starting to piece together the tragic turn of events from Malaysia Airlines Flight 17. Intelligence officials saying that a surface-to-air missile is what brought the civilian jetliner down, with 298 souls on board. The area has, of course, been plagued by violence these past several months. Now authorities are trying to figure out who launched that missile. CBS News correspondent Craig Boswell is standing by live in Washington, D.C. now with the very latest details on this disturbing case.
The White House is calling for a ceasefire in Ukraine to facilitate an investigation of the shootdown. U.S. intelligence officials say they did detect a missile in flight.